Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Truman Show, a new Azorius control deck with Ugin at our top end. The deck does have a lot of moving parts, and what I mean is that there are a lot of cards that work well together with other cards. There isn't any particular combo, but our set of cards gives us an endless supply of removals, bounce, or even counterspells. We come stocked with plenty of card draw to help us get to cards we need, and we bring mana artifacts to help fuel our plays. Let's get in there. We're playing 3 copies of Erode, the amazing 1-mana removal that we can use to snipe enemy men and opposing planeswalkers. It will let them fetch out a basic land for their loss, but that is a small price to pay to clear out an enemy. We can also use this on one of our own if we need more mana. And after all, we are able to get the Erode back from our grave. Stormchaser's talent is just the thing that can get us back an instant or sorcery from our grave when we take the talent up to level 2. When it enters play, we get an otter token, which gives us a body on board that we will be happy to use as a blocker or an attacker. While most decks are usually not trying to take advantage of the level 3 ability, if we can manage to level it up all the way, then we will. In this deck, tokens can often play a very large role in taking down opposing life totals. Get Lost is another removal. This will take care of any men, enchantments, and even planeswalkers we want gone. Sure, we give away a pair of map tokens, but that's a small price to pay for the flexibility we have. And once again, this is a removal we can even use on one of our own. If we're that desperate, of course. The Mind Stone is a 2-mana artifact that is, in my opinion, the very best card to come out of the Marvel Superheroes set. At 2 mana, it is an excellent card that helps us combat shuffler specials and can ramp us towards our pricier cards. The real power of the Mind Stone happens when we harness it and we get to blink any permanent we have at the end of each of our turns. Blinking a talent gives us a token along with a way to keep getting instant and sorceries out of our grave for only 4 mana. And while it might not seem like much, it does give us a way to have an endless line of removals or even counterspells. Agatha's Soul Cauldron is an artifact that we plan to use to exile cards out of the opponent's grave. This gives us a chance to shut down reanimator strategies before they can get going. And as a bonus, when we exile men out of the grave, we get to put a stat-boosting counter on one of our men. It works to shut down their plans while pumping our men. I like it. Mazemind Tome is a 2-mana artifact that gives us a pair of excellent options. We can tap it and get a Scry 1, or we can pay 2 mana and tap it to draw a card. We get to use the Mind Stone 4 times before it exiles itself and then gains us 4 life. While it is limited in how many times we use it, the Tome is strategically placed to be another card that can help us out of shuffler specials, as well as letting us build up an advantage later in the game. The Ooze is yet another artifact that can snipe cards out of the grave. Having a pair of artifacts that can cripple reanimation strategies gives us a chance against those looking to get cards from the grave for cheap. And when we snipe a card, we generate a token that we can use to pump one of our men. Every bit of damage we can dish out gets us closer to our goal. Invasion Sub is a vehicle that we plan to use to bounce any non-land permanent. The board disruption is excellent enough, but we can also waterbend 3 and have it transform into a 3/3 blocker and at instant speed, or if we need an extra attacker. Once we can blink it, we can bounce out any problematic permanent the opponent has in play. It's a great way to slow down an offensive or give us a way to keep getting in for hits. All Fate's Scroll is a mana artifact that we've used before. It can tap for any color mana, and later in the game we can pay 7 mana and sacrifice it to draw cards equal to the number of differently named lands we control. In this case, the scroll can draw us a fresh set of 7 cards max. A full hand at instant speed is something that can generate plenty of advantages. Even 4 or 5 cards can be enough to let us take over a game. Brush Off is our counter spell, and for 4 mana we can counter any card the opponent tries to play out. If they try to fire off an instant or sorcery, though, we can counter for only 2 mana. And those are the cards we are looking to stop. That includes cards that could damage our board or give the opponent a chance to get back in the game by destroying multiples of our permanents. Elspeth, Stormslayer, is our token generator. With her in play, we get double the usual amount of tokens, and that includes when she generates a token. She also doubles as removal if we need to eliminate any enemy men that are 3 mana or more. And never forget about her pump ability, which also gives our men flying and can enable us to get in for hits, game-ending hits. Emeritus of Ideation is the only one of our men that is not a token. The Emeritus is a big flyer with a good ward ability, but he also comes packing the best card draw spell in the game. For just 1 mana, we can draw 3 fresh ones, and thanks to our Blink artifact, we can reset him and get another round of draw 3. And even if the Emeritus goes to an early grave, we have a way to get him back out. Restoration Seminar is our backup. When we fire it off, we can get any permanent back from our grave and put it directly into play. While a lot of decks are vulnerable to having their cards destroyed, we have a way to get them back and give them a chance to help us in the fight against the opponent. And because of Paradigm, we get a copy of this spell at the start of each of our turns. You can almost sense the opponent start to cry. Ugin, Eye of the Storms, is the other top-end card. We're packing 3 copies since he can warp a game in our favor. When we put Ugin on the stack, he will immediately snipe any permanent that is at least 1 color. And after that, we can exile any permanent whenever we fire off a colorless card. This ability gives us additional removals that can permanently deal with any problematic permanents. And that's not even taking into account his 3 abilities. Ugin warps a board and we plan to take full advantage. For lands, we're playing a single Fountainport, the special land that can generate tokens or fat sack them to draw an extra card. 4 Hallowed Fountain, the Azorius shock land. 4 Gleaming Bastion, the special land that is a dual when it enters, and if we have a basic land in play. 4 Floodfarm Verge, the plains that becomes a dual when we have a plains or island in play. 5 Island, 5 plains, and 1 Abandoned Air Temple, the special land we can use to add a stat-boosting counter to all our men. Playing the deck is slightly complicated. Familiarity with playing control is a great help. The more you play the deck, the easier it gets. The goal is to get ourselves to the point where we can play out our 5+ mana cards. The artifact mana should help us get there while we hold down powerful men with removals. Get in for damages whenever possible, but use tokens to defend against powerful enemies. We don't have sweepers, but we have an endless amount of removals, thanks to Ugin. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Saint Orm Blessed. He wants us to know his mom squeezed him out in the year of our Lord 1979. We're kicking things off with a Shuffler special. We do have double removal and a tome that could help bail us out. If we can find a 3rd land, that gets us to our scroll, and we've got a shot after that. Keep your pants on. They drop in a dragon sniper. Let's make a mental note to tell Ugin there's a guy who can snipe him already on board. Bring some sturdy pants, oogie boogie woogie. Well, that's not good. They're trying to make us drop Trow with an Innkeeper's talent. I'ma need to tighten my belt. Instead of 1 damage, we're taking 2, and it only increases from here. Anyways, we'll turn our tome sideways and take a look at our top card. That's a 3rd land, we'll take it? We could play out the scroll to get us the potential to drop Elspeth on our next turn, and she can make some token blockers to hold them up, but we can also snipe their sniper with 1 of our removals. That will let us avoid taking damages next turn. I do like that line better. They go with a cub this time. They will have a land they can use to send it. Damages early are exactly what we try to avoid. Instead, they tap their land for mana to level up their talent. Everything they have with a counter on it will have Ward 1, which can be a pain, especially early on. Then they fire off a removal for our tome. Before it goes away, we'll use it to scry. And on top, we have another land. We'll take it. That gives us the ability to drop our scroll and have 2 mana up. All their men have ward, so we'll just follow up with our tome. We will be taking a beating, but we can get Elspeth down on our next turn, and from there, we can try to turn things around. They double down on talents. Their men will get plenty big, and just 1 mana to level it up gives their permanents double ward 1. My pants were not ready for this. They pump their cub and send it, leaving mana up for a protection spell most likely. The good news is their men don't have trample. Yet. Our scry shows us a cauldron on top, but we don't need this bowl of soup right now. We'll send it on down. We draw another land, which is fine. Mana's our power, and we need as much of that as we can get. For now, Elspeth can make token blockers until we draw some of our weapons.
I light the path to victory. Join the fight!
They play out a turtle. That gives us a chance. We still need to do some sniping, but at least their men are not OP. They are just POOP. They pump up and send it after Elspeth. While she could take one of these hits and survive, I do want to leave the option available to use her -3 ability in case they drop a tapeworm on us. Keep in mind, we do not have sweepers in the deck. Everything is pinpoint removals. They tap out to use a map token on their Shellboy, so we'll take the opportunity to scry with the tome. And on top we have another land. We'll pass this time. Land draws were great early, but now we have 6 mana already. We draw an Erode and we'll have to snipe one of their men. If we can keep them at 2 men or less, we can keep making tokens to block them until backup arrives.
More heroes for the cause.
They fire off a germination practicum to give their team a bigger boost at the box office. They still don't have trample, so our pants stay on. They send it, and before we block up, we'll use the tome to draw. A land, because we still need more manas. The shuffler is a manas to society, I swear. We draw a sub, load torpedo tubes 1 and 2. We'll use it to stink one of their men. Bounce might be temporary, but it gives us room to breathe. Their land gets pumped to 12-12. Tell me that's not the biggest land you've ever seen. Their turtle comes back. We could only avoid that shell smell for so long. Do you even shower, bro? You smell like you came out of a sewer. They fire off a Defend the Rider to make a token. They've realized they're not going to get through unless they outnumber us with men. They go for their talent pump, and now is when we strike. We'll hit their turtle right in the shell. But they have a second Defend the Rider to save their shell. On the plus side, they can't attack with those, so we have a couple of turns to find more ammo. No trample means we can keep blocking with tokens. You shall not pass. We drew a land. Awesome.
Join the fight.
Let's use the last tome activation for a draw. And that gets us an Emeritus. It's another blocker as well as a draw 3 all in one. We draw an Ugin and an Ooze, along with a land, of course. Ugin does give us more removals, and if we can get to his ultimate, we can crush their board. Here comes the team pump. You can't scare me, my pants are on, bro. Oh shoot, there's a tapeworm. Bro is trying to make us touch our pants in that special loving way, but we need to stay strong. They use a map token on the tapeworm. And on top, they have a Smelf. They'll keep it since it is another body they can get on board. We're slowly getting outnumbered, but we're not outgunned. They're only sending the land? Really? No, wait, they're sending everything else at Elspeth. They haven't given up on her. Once we've blocked up, we'll use our tokens to pay to have our subsurface. Load all the torpedo tubes. We need all the firepower we can get a hold of. We draw another land. Shout out to the shuffler. We have enough mana to play out Ugin and still pay the ward costs for one of their men. The tapeworm has got to go.
Heed my counsel. I will put an end to this war.
Our Emeritus can finally return fire. All we need is 4 turns to clear their life total out. We want to get it to 0. They smelf it up, and that leaves them with the mana to take one of their talents to level 3. That still doesn't give their team trample. We can still hold out against their never-ending assaults. We draw another Emeritus. It's like striking gold. Let's go ahead and play out our Ooze. This 2-mana artifact is a removal when we have Ugin in play. We'll snipe their turtle. It can go wax its shell right off. Go wax it, bro.
I grant you a boon. The wise heed my advice.
Join the fight.
We're going to hold what we got this time. Let's not take the chance they might have a Ba Sing Se in their deck to make a fourth attacker. They have enough power on board to kill 3 players, but they still can't get through. If only they'd bothered to include men with trample instead of dragon snipers. Or turtles. They split up their attacks yet again. We're supposed to pick who we like and who we can afford to drop, but we like our board how it is. Sure, we lose an Emeritus, but we have a Seminar in hand. We can use that to get our permanents back from the grave turn after turn. I don't know what I would do if we didn't draw a land so often.
I welcome all allies.
Focus.
We'll go with our 3rd Emeritus this turn and use it to draw more lands. Well, that's a surprise, but not a surprise. You know what I mean? We started with a Shuffler special, and we still have a Shuffle special. They throw down a Terra Symbiosis, they'll get some good draw this turn. But we looked at the calendar and their days are numbered. They send it, but without trample. They are trying to swim uphill. They have enough power on board to kill 5 opponents, but they can't get through. They go for a hunter's talent. That's the trample they've needed all game long. And now that it has finally arrived, we will counter it. And now they weakly drop in another Smelf because that's all they've got left. We'll make some tokens, then unload with Ugin. We don't have sweepers, but his ultimate can double as a sweeper. We'll reduce their board to rubble, and what can't be smashed can be bounced.
This fight began.
Taking out the talents first opens up their men since they lose the ward. We can slap them down without having to pay more mana.
Flows as easily as water. I grant you a boon. Heed my counsel. Preparation yields success. Knowledge is a virtue.
All they've got left is their land and a small stack of hopes and dreams. That was a kick to their teeth. You gotta shark 'em all. They go with another Terra Symbiosis. We could counter it, but they've lost their ability to pump their men. What are they going to do? Draw a card? Don't scare me with that, bro. A whole card? They try another Tapeworm, but we'll shut that down right away. That's a negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full, and that's GG's extra Ugin cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.